All right, Steve, kind of a heartbreaking 14-13 loss today, Roanoke College. Talk about the final minutes there and cutting it to one goal, and then you have a face-off to win, which you do win.
Yeah, I mean, that's, perfectly scripted, I mean, you'd want to be up a goal and not down a goal in those situations, but the kids continued to compete. They went after, they got the ball, we double-teamed the ball out of their timeout, got it, pushed the ball in transition, had a second, got it back again, pushed it down. Steve sticks the goal to go 14-13. We go with an offensive-minded face-off with 3 shorts, push it, have to go back, but then come forward and have a shot at the end, and, just didn't answer, and Roanoke's a very good team. They play a crazy style of lacrosse. It's very good, but you got to match them. You got to speed up sometimes. You got to slow down other times. And I thought for the most part we did that. We had a couple lulls there when I think they went on a 5-goal run that we did, and then we went on a little bit of a run. So, I mean, 3 losses and all by a goal are it's tough, but the kids played hard and they're competing, and that's all we can ask. So.
That was going to be my next question. 3 one-goal losses to 3 nationally ranked teams. What's the silver lining in there?
Well, you got to think on offense, with the exception of like Paul and Brian, we're young, I guess Danny, and Brian's back next year, but, Matt and Bobby and Jeff and Brandon and, JT, they're all freshmen and sophomores, and so the good news is when you got to play in games like this to know what it's like. I can't tell them what it's like. They got to play in these games. You'd like to win these games, but you got to play them to know what it's like and know the atmosphere, and so we'll be better for it.
You mentioned 2 players right there, Bobby Thorpe and Dan Terenic.
Yeah.
Expand on their performance today.
Bobby played great. Bobby's a warrior. He played great. Danny stepped up too. He's had some good games. He struggled on and off this year. He's not having the season I'm sure he would like to have, but he's doing some good things. And he had a couple left-handed goals, and they overplayed his right, and he took what they gave him. And Bobby, I thought that arguably at some points he was one of the best offensive players on the field today. And he's a sophomore. And so that's the silver lining. We're getting better. I think we were better in this loss, if this makes sense, than we were in the Haverford loss or we were in the Gettysburg loss. We were better today in all aspects. And so from that, I guess that's the silver lining that our coaching staff hangs our hat on.
About as close to an NCAA tournament type environment you can get, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and these are why these games are so important for a program like ours as we continue to develop and get to that top level, and we have recruits here and they want to see that, they want to be part of it. You can't duplicate this in practice. You can't duplicate this without teams that are in the NCAA tournament, and so again, I'd like to win one by a goal, as opposed to losing them all, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
A couple days of practice before Centenary on the 16th. What's the key?
Just come back to work. Come back to work tomorrow. We'll come back to work tomorrow, and we'll run around and we'll have fun, and we'll work hard and get healthy and get ready to play on Centenary on the road. It's a conference game, and our ticket to the NCAA tournament now is through our conference. We know that, and we got to get into the best position to be in our conference playoffs, to play at home, and try to get back to the NCAA tournament.
One last question. Brian Hill, 100 career points. Talk about Hill's career.
Brian Hill's one of the steadiest players you could ask for. Smartest kids on the field. Leader by action, not by words. Not a big talker. Doesn't need to be. Smart, steady, and every program has those kids. And Brian did an excellent job, and earned it. And probably doesn't get the pub that he deserves, but he's a hell of a kid, and I'm happy for him.
Thanks, Steve.